Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for my client Demi's vlog, and we're coming back this week after he did the mock meet, just a deadlift event, unsanctioned, and now we're going to start training further and getting him ready to get on the platform. Now, obviously, as I've said before, triceps are his weak link by a pretty large margin for his upper body. And it's not to say that we don't want his whole upper body to grow. It's just that triceps are very much limiting his overall strength, his overall pressing strength. So they are getting a higher priority. And that also means bands, bands, bands. It's been my experience as a coach that when I get a lifter who has a tricep weakness and they have never previously done band work and I start hammering their triceps, what do you think happens? And I learned this years ago. This is something I figured out at least 3-4 years ago. What do you think happens? Their elbows get inflamed. Their elbow tendons, they start getting tendonitis in their elbows because they can't handle all the volumes of free weight tricep work that I give them. Okay? And I found that when we do that, we have to do tons of band work to prehab them. So here's the thing that I find. When I get a lifter who has a tricep weakness, what's the first thing we do? Start incorporating band work as a secondary movement. Now in his case, I'm doing floor skull crushers. I'm about to take him over to longer range of motion skull crushers. So why do you think that is? These are easier on the elbows, right? We're avoiding that last bit of stretch. Studies show that these build triceps very, very effectively in spite of being a partial. There's actual good data on this specific movement. Works very well for hypertrophy. However, it's a little easier on the elbows, but we've been incorporating band work. So now that we're doing the band work, our next step will be to start doing a longer range of motion. I may eventually take him over to JM presses. Right, we may do that as well. But in the meantime, we're going to work with these. We're going to work with the extensions, and then we're going to do this band work. Now, I'd like him to speed this band work up a little bit more. I would like it to be faster, more explosive. Get that stretch reflex, really hammer those tendons harder, because that stretch reflex against the bands causes more micro trauma in the tendons, and that results in a larger training response. In addition to that blood flow, because we have to build those tendons up. In addition to just the general work capacity, and this is a big solution for a tricep weakness. Now for max effort lower there, we'll go back and talk about triceps more in a minute. Max effort lower there, we did a pause deadlift. His deadlift is by far his best lift, right? There's no doubt about that. So I'm putting a little bit larger focus on a lot of movements to bring his squat up, because his deadlift is coming along just fine. As long as his hamstrings continue to grow and our back grows, we'll continue to see this happen, right? We'll see his deadlift continue to come up. Not going to be a problem. We're good there. So I'm not worried about that. I want to work on this other stuff, so we're doing good mornings. All right, good mornings carry over very, very effectively to a low bar type squat. He is a tall lifter. He's above 6 foot. He's got long femurs. He is going to have to squat with a wide stance in a low bar type position as the only way he's going to build a big squat. He's not going to have the option to do an Olympic style squat. Hey, you tall guys, get that out of your head. I'm not saying some can't do it. They're the outlier, and they're still going to be a lot weaker. Fighting against those femurs. So, yes, we do need to build quads. Yes, we do need to build those things. The good morning is going to let them really follow through. And it's going to let them build that power they need to use their back as the lever, because they're going to have to. They're going to have to if you want a real big squat. Now, we're doing leg presses. All right, we're doing leg presses when he's at the gym, and if he's at home, we do split squats or lunges. Building the quads and the adductors here. All right, this is what we need for his squat. Again, the deadlift, I can just do general accessories. It's going to improve. It's going to improve no matter what. It'll improve with the squat. In fact, everything that builds his squat will help his deadlift, along with the back work, the rowing and things. So again, he's going to be a natural deadlifter. I'm just not worried about it. All right, we'll have him deadlifting 6 plates in no time. I'm worried about these other lifts. So we're doing all this leg stuff, and we're doing a lot of tricep stuff. So again, you'll notice this week, what are we doing? Floor pressing. Relatively tricep dominant, but still works the pecs really hard, right? A little bit more tricep. For a lot of people with tricep weakness, the floor press isn't a bad option, particularly even when we're bringing pecs up. Now, if they're really, really weak right off the bottom of the bench, this is not necessarily my first choice. It's not always my first choice. Again, for him, though, it's that follow-through, it's the lockout. It's really what we need to build, and we need to build the whole tricep. This helps. We're obviously doing extensions, and we're doing all of that band work. Hey, again, in my experience as a coach, the band work pays off. Pays off a lot. Now, if someone doesn't have a tricep weakness, I'll still probably do some triceps, but it'll just be bands. It'll be light dumbbell work, just pump work. We won't really always do something like skull crushers or JM presses. But it also is going to depend on what equipment they have available. A lot of lifters, though, if you take away their free weight tricep movements, they don't like it. They get upset. If you try to replace it with just bands. Usually your more mature lifters who have a lot of tricep, they're usually okay with it. Younger guys, you can't do that. They get upset. But in his case, we actually have that weakness. All right, dynamic effort lower. He's doing speed boxes with the safety bar. Again, I like that safety bar sometimes for these taller lifters. Right? It really forces that back into a difficult position. Carry over to his deadlift too. All right, we do that, and then we do the good mornings. We do other stuff. We do glute bridges and things as well for him. But really, we're going to live and die on the good mornings and then the direct leg work. Leg presses, single leg exercises for his lower body, tricep movements for the upper body. Again, pushing all of them to the volumes that are necessary. Pushing progressive overload. Now, he's obviously decently strong at these good mornings already, but deadlift is his biggest lift. We would expect that. But we need these to continue to get stronger, because this is what's going to make or break him on missing a squat right now. It's going to happen with the taller guys. If the quads give out or slow down when they hit their sticking point, they have to good morning their way through it. So by building this up, we will push him through that sticking point where they'll tend to get pulled forward on that low bar squat, so that they'll be able to complete it and lock it out. It's pretty much how we do it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.